Is our campus diverse enough, or do the pamphlets that show diversity serve just as a smokescreen for an issue on all campuses have?
I feel like campus really isn't that diverse. As soon as you look at the pamphlets, it seems like it'd be a lot more diverse. When you walk around and like all the diversity is kind of scattered. It's kind of hard to find everyone. It's definitely predominantly. Oh yeah, it's predominantly white.
All right. Is our campus diverse enough, or do the pamphlets that show diversity serve just as a smokescreen for an issue on all campuses have?
I feel like campus really isn't that diverse. On the pamphlets, it seems to be a lot more diverse, but when you walk around campus, the diversity is a lot harder to find.
Do you believe that campus actively takes action to promote diversity on campus?
I feel the only place diversity is really promoted on campus is the Center for Student Diversity. Because other than that, I mean, I don't really see like ASUN or anyone else taking any sort of action to promote diversity. It's kind of just there.
Do you believe racism exists on our campus? And if so, how do you think we can solve this issue?
Racism is definitely on campus. I mean, a lot of the people hide behind like social media or hide behind certain things. It's not really like one of those things that's out there, but it's definitely something present on campus. And I don't feel like it can be solved, like it can be fixed. I just feel like it's always going to be there, but you can address it and try to help it out.
No. I feel that in a way they might believe they do. They might believe that when it comes to giving tours and things like that they try to promote, like our campus is so diverse, you have so many different cultures. But in reality, when you look at the ratios, there's a huge gap on where it should be. So I don't think they're doing a good enough job whatsoever.
How safe do you think campus is for minority groups? If it is not safe, how do we make it safe?
Well, for a minute I thought it was safe until some recent activities have gone on, and I've learned to find out it's not safe. It's going to become a problem when I'm walking a class and then I start thinking, wow, the people that are passing me every day could be the same people that have been saying hurtful things and things like that. So I'm not sure how we can make it safe. I mean, you can't force somebody to see a different culture, to love different people, or to not be racist. You can't really force it. I mean, we can inform people and try to, persuade them or change their mind, but when it comes down to it, there's not much you can do.
So what is your take on white privilege? Does it exist? And if it does, in what ways is it implemented? Or how do white individuals benefit from it?
Mm-hmm. I think that white privilege is a way that we describe the fact that white people have dictated the direction and place of even different societies and different cultures in Western society and Western culture over time. White privilege describes this very base level systemic disconnect in treatment and fairness that not always, but tends to, when applied to a very large scale, support people who are white, straight, males, well educated especially. And even though all white people do enjoy the ability of privilege, this is not to say that white people all are better off in society. White privilege, again, is the tendency for society to support and favor white people in almost any instance. The tendency, again, that's the key. Well, there's a second part of that question.
So what is white privilege? How do white individuals benefit from it?
Okay. I think one of the biggest ways that white people actually benefit from white privilege that's becoming more and more obvious over time is that we tend to enjoy just the simple benefit of the doubt in many situations. I have friends who've made references numerous times to stuff like getting pulled over for what they call driving while black. That is something that, to me, I've never even considered in my entire existence. And it really came to a head to me when I said to a friend, I don't even think about race. How can there be this white privilege when I don't ever even consider race? And my friend's response to me was, the simple fact that you don't ever have to confront or think about your race on a day-to-day level or day-to-day basis is evidence of the fact that you live a privileged existence. White people don't have to consider the fact that they're white, whereas people of color, blacks, Mexicans, anyone, are constantly having to face the way that their skin color relates them to the society that they act in.
Diversity and acceptance can be promoted throughout the community and campus by performing more events with a positive atmosphere, celebrating the differences between people, as well as having more inclusive clubs among campus. I don't believe that the money we pay here to come to the university gives us any peace of mind to protect the minorities. However, I do believe that the campus does try its best to protect us by giving us extra security, such as like with campus escort, and extra security at the dorms with all the different cards that we have to swipe. Although affirmative action is a good idea to promote diversity, I don't think it should be necessary for employers to enact it, because I think people should be hired based on their qualifications to do the job properly and with the best ability. Although it is good, I don't think that it should be necessarily implanted. I believe that although our campus and maybe most of the campuses across the nation are predominantly white, our campus doesn't misrepresent who goes to this school. Statistics can be easily found online, and pamphlets and videos show a good ratio between people of different races that go to this school. I do believe that diversity is actively promoted here on campus. There are many clubs and events that go on around campus showing the different diversities and cultures that represent our school, such as the Night of All Nations that just occurred a few days ago. I think that there will always be instances of discrimination against minorities. However, at this campus, I believe that minorities are safe because of all the protective services that are available to us. I do believe that racism exists on campus, and although it may not be in the open, it does exist. Anonymous apps such as Zcac allow people to post whatever they want without repercussions. I don't think that racism will ever cease to exist, but to help prevent even more of it occurring, especially to minorities, is by rating these apps and by promoting diversity in a more positive manner.
How safe do you think campus is for minority groups? And if it's not safe, how can we make it safe?
Our campus? The campus.
Our campus.
I feel, as a student here, I feel safe anywhere that I want to. I would like to think that our spaces are safe spaces. Not all spaces serve as a place to have conversations and to have dialogue and to really debate. And that's okay, I get that. Obviously the center's here, not just because I work here, but however, there are different places, different spaces that could, in a way, show other groups, other students of color, that they are not just welcome there, but that they'll be nurtured there, if that makes any sense. So one thing is like, yeah, having the doors open, welcome. Another thing is like, welcome, but we want to nurture you here as well.
Do you believe racism exists on our campus? And if so, how can we solve this issue?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. There's no easy way to answer this question, but in terms of like just all the negativity that happened just recently with the march. The aftermath, we hearing students through social media that they disapproved of that and that they don't understand. That's that in a form that's so bad. That's racist. You know, why write about it when you have the people right here on your campus? Ask them what's bothering them. You know, why write about it? And hide your face. Like, it's ridiculous. People don't understand, and it's getting to the point where they're hiding behind a screen so that their voices could be heard. But we have students here suffering from different things, suffering from microaggressions to blatant racist remarks to explicit racist statements to professors not understanding people's cultures and dismissing their culture and saying, no, that's not how history happened. That right there is it's totally wrong, right? And then they go and write their feelings on social media about how they disapproved of a march that was intended for that community, to bring them together, for other people to understand. It wasn't an